Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Velvet. A professional podcaster would just cut that out and start again, but I keep it real for the people. Welcome to Velvet Al watches movies so you don't have to. The only podcast where Velvet Al watches movies so you don't have to. But despite the title, I want you to know, if you really do want to watch the movies, you can. I'm just giving you the option to not watch it. A while back, I did an episode on Baby's Day Out, and for some strange reason, this has become, ridiculously popular on YouTube. It's currently standing over 800 views within a month, and by the time this episode drops, it could very well be well over 1,000. Could be even a gajillion views by the time you get around to listening to this episode, which is amazing. I mean, I know you're thinking 800 views, that's like a lame number, but most of my videos on YouTube sputter out around 10 views. Of course, I wish this translated over to the Anchor podcast, because I actually get paid a penny for each time that's listened to, so I would have made $8 on this. Strangely, it only has one listen. But on YouTube, it's super popular, and I don't even know how the fuck people are finding the video. But, so I was thinking, maybe I'll do a YouTube video on Baby's Day Out or something, because it's kind of ridiculously popular. So I was doing some research on this, and I shit you not, there are 3 fucking remakes, and they're all from India. Apparently, Baby's Day Out is one of the most popular films in India. That is fucking insane. So, of course, since I'm gonna torture myself so that you don't have to torture yourself with fucking Indian remakes of Baby's Day Out, I will be watching all 3 of those remakes. So the first one is called Sisindri, I think. You can see how the title's spelled on the title of this episode. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking butcher it because I don't know. This is in the language Telugu. Man, this is gonna be super fucking offensive, isn't it? Because I can't pronounce any of these words. But yeah, this is the first remake of Baby's Day Out, and I don't know Hindu or Telugu or really any language other than English and a handful of dirty phrases in Spanish and one dirty phrase in Polish. Don't ask why. But yeah, so I'm probably not going to really fucking understand what's going on. But I've already seen Baby's Day Out, so I'm assuming the plot's going to be pretty much the same. And if it's on the intellectual level of Baby's Day Out, I don't think I really need to understand the language to know what's going on. So here we go with Sisindri. The baby here is cuter than the baby in Baby's Day Out, so that's a plus. Mom, she's pretty hot too, but I don't know if she's quite Laura Flynn Boyle hot. But she's close. She's close. She is the Indian equivalent of Laura Flynn Boyle, almost. So they start off with what I assume is some sort of religious ceremony. I don't want to offend anyone by getting it wrong, but there's lighting of candles and statues, and the baby's got that red dot, so I assume it's some sort of Hindu religion prayer thing. And then I'm guessing we cut to the next day. Dad's getting ready to go leave for work. Meanwhile, baby is just starting to take a pencil and scribble all over some sort of paper. Looks like it's probably important paper for Dad's work, but Dad's not mad about it. And good, he should not be mad about it, because it would be his own fucking fault, because he left the paper there. You don't leave papers laying around and pens right in the view of a baby, because baby's gonna get that pen and he's gonna scribble over the paper. That's just the way it is. Now, there's some sort of celebration where these guys are getting, like, lays on them, and there's confetti. And I'm not sure. And I think one of them's dad. I'm not entirely sure. And if this is your first time listening to my podcast, please know I'm not racist when I can't tell people apart. Because if you go back and listen to my other episodes, I can't tell the white people apart either unless they're, like, super famous. It's just a thing I have, like, I'm not very good with faces, and so everyone looks alike to me. Unless there's, like, big differences with, like, hair and stuff. And one of the guys here has kind of, like, an Elvis-type pompadour. Actually pretty cool. So, then suddenly these military guys just bust in and kind of interrupt. I mean, I guess bust in, but, like, it's an outdoor festival celebration or something. And the army guys, the military guys, they kind of put a stop to it. Like, no, you can't do it. And one of them kind of has a Hitler mustache, and it looks really fake. I don't know if it is or not, but it looks like it's just glued on. And then Mom comes. At least I think it's Mom. Again, I can't tell people apart. So it has nothing to do with them being Indian. I just legitimately can't tell people apart. And so she's all excited, and she's running, and one of the guys that was getting laid, not that kind of laid, the Hawaiian laid, and he starts running to her, and they're happy, and they say some stuff, and then the military Hitler guy comes back again to stop this grand reunion. And Hitler guy is just really pissed. For some reason. He's just pissed off at this guy and the other guys that were getting all the celebration. And he just smacks the shit out of them. And he runs off with the girl. Against her will. She's not happy about it. But he smacks her around a little too. And I don't think she's Mom. I don't think she's Mom. And I don't think any of these were Dad. They're just random people. That probably figure into the plot somehow. And I don't know how they will. And when I find out how they do, I still won't know how they do because I don't understand a thing that anyone is saying. Now we're back with Mom and Dad. And Dad's talking to some old guy in glasses, and the old guy in glasses yells at him. And Dad gets fucking pissed after the old guy leaves the room. But he gets super fucking pissed, and he takes his tie off and just kind of holds it like a belt, like he's gonna fucking choke someone out. And he is really fucking pissed. And Mom is right there. And I seriously thought he was about to choke Mom out. And she says something to him, and he yells at her. He is fucking pissed about something. He's ready to choke someone out with that tie. It's insane. I kind of hope he does choke someone out. And then, now we see the nanny reading a storybook to Baby. Only reason I figured out what that is because Baby's Day Out, you had Cynthia Nixon as the nanny reading a book to Baby. So I'm guessing this is going to be like, you know, a book that tells the adventure of a baby that goes off along the city. And this baby is going to follow those adventures. Okay, it's not a storybook, it's a photo album of the family. Back in happier days, before Dad went all fucking psycho and ready to choke people out with ties, before his soul was completely crushed, these are happy days, and Baby is happy to see those pictures, and they're at different locations, so my guess is those are the locations that Baby is going to go to. They don't have a storybook for him to follow, but, you know, he's probably going to go to the zoo and stuff, because I hope so, because you gotta have the guy in the gorilla suit. Which, by the way, I looked it up, and apparently the gorilla suit from Baby's Day Out was the gorilla used for whatever that fucking gorilla movie was. Something in the Mist. Gorillas in the Mist? That doesn't sound right, but I think that's what it was. About Diana Fossey. Or is it Diane Fossey? Either way, you know, the movie with gorillas and the woman that's not Jane Goodall helping the gorillas that then gets murdered by the government. I haven't seen the movie. I'm just I just know like the very basics of it. But yeah, the gorilla suit from that movie was then reused for Baby's Day Out. If there is a gorilla suit in this movie, it's probably not the same one. But I hope there is a gorilla suit in this movie. And then we've got Hitler military guy again, and he's like yelling about stuff because he's just angry. But he's not like angry like Dad was. He's not like ready to kill someone angry. He's just more like a frustrated angry. And he's yelling at everyone, and who I assume is his wife, just hands him some canisters to take somewhere. And he's walking off, and he runs into like one of the guys from the celebration, who I'm going to start calling 77 because for some reason he has a white shirt and it says 77 on it. So I don't know, he's number 77 of something. But yeah, and that frustrates Hitler guy even more because I think Hitler guy just doesn't like this guy. Because 77 seems like a pretty happy guy. And he just wants to have everyone be happy. Which, you know, I like 77. And then 77 has a letter, which I'm guessing is from his girlfriend because it's pink. And it smells like perfume, I'm guessing, because he sniffs it and he's very happy about it. So it either smells like perfume or it smells like her pussy. And maybe both. Ladies, if you want to make your man happy and he's like long distance away, send him a letter that smells like your pussy. He will be glad. And so he like yells like some sort of "Ah!" for his girlfriend, and somehow she hears him. I don't know how far away she is, but she's like "Ah!" I mean, they used actual words in it, but that was kind of the gist of how they said it. Then Hitler dude is upset about something, and he runs over and sees 77 and his buddies, and they're eating big slabs of chicken, and he gets mad about something and yells at them, but they're very happy guys, so they try to be like, oh, you know, everything's good or something, and he's like, ah! Because he's yelling. I bet that sounds incredibly racist the way I go, yeah! But again, trust me, if this is your first time listening to me, I make the same, like, impersonation for, like, the white people movies. Yeah! 'Cause that's how everyone yells. So, but something pisses him off so much that he feels the need to take off his shirt and start whacking himself with his cane. I don't know, but his assistant, his number 2 in command, or whoever this guy is, he comes by and he tells him something that must be fantastic, because then he says, in English, so at least I know this, fantastic idea. I don't know, is there like no Hindu translation of fantastic idea? That just is so weird. Or is it just like one of those, like the word is there, but it means something completely different, so it's like, you know, if you were to say fantastic idea while you're in India, they'll just get really pissed at you because you just called their mother a whore. So something like that. But I don't know. Hitler guy is very happy, and it's a fantastic idea, whatever's been suggested. Dad goes to see his boss. At least I think it's the boss. And he says something, boss isn't happy about it. Boss yells and slaps him around, and I don't know, everyone is so angry in this film. And I don't know if it makes it better or worse that I have no fucking clue what anyone is saying. Just, everyone's so angry. And then after the boss leaves, because of course, after the boss leaves, Dad gets his angry face on. And he's mad and he's gonna smack someone. Not right now, not in the office, but someone, somewhere, will get smacked. And Dad goes to see this other guy who's got this pretty cool curly mustache, and he yells at Dad, and he's angry, and some very dramatic music. Shit is gonna go down. What the fuck? Dad is into some deep shit, as far as I can figure. And he's gotta do something. And I don't know, how is he gonna save himself? And he gets home, and he looks at his wife and his son. His wife is playing with his son, taking pictures. and this makes Dad really angry. And I think he just seems like he's gonna fucking deck his family. He's gonna deck his wife and possibly deck Baby. This is not cool. Dad, don't give in to your anger. Do not go to the dark side. Just bang Mom. I know she's not as hot as Laura Flynn Boyle, but she is still pretty hot. And Dad's got something stewing in his mind. I don't know, maybe in this version, Dad is the one who kidnaps Baby. All I know is I don't trust Dad right now. And since it's an Indian film, we of course have to get a musical number in. Not sure what she's singing. The song's a bit of a banger. It gets into your head. It's catchy. And a lot of it deals around Mom and Baby having some fun and just goofing around, and Baby puts glasses on the dog and she dresses him up in makeup and jewelry. It's fantastic. They love each other. This is a happy family. And that's why Dad's not around. Because if Dad was there, fucking we'd get like black metal song going on. Because Dad is angry and hates everyone. But it's just Mom and Baby, and they are happy. And I'm happy for them. Now, 77 and his pompadour friend are running some sort of con on this businessman. And I'm not sure I fully understand it, but there's a knife that the businessman takes away, and he's like super angry at 77, because everyone is really fucking quick to anger in this film, and it looks like he's about to like just unleash the fury, and the music is just very dramatic, and you see his face is just so super fucking serious, and it looks like he's just gonna kick some ass. But then Pompadour guy steals his suitcase. Oh no! And 77 runs away as well, and business guy is just left fuming. And there's nothing he can do about it. He certainly can't, like, get into his car and drive after them or try to run after them. Nope, he's just gonna let them go. Which I think is kind of a big mistake, because next scene, they open up the suitcase. Inside, just fucking tons of baggies of cocaine. Or maybe heroin. Some sort of drug. I think it's cocaine. We don't get a close look, and if they say it, they don't say it in English. So they say the Telugu word for cocaine or heroin. So I don't know what kind of drug they have, but it is drugs. A lot of fucking drugs. And I don't know if they knew this. Did they like scope out this guy and particularly like target him so that they could get the drugs? Or did they just kind of luck out? Now, 77 and his buddies go to, I'm assuming, some drug dealers, because they've got like all like the sleazy looks, sleazy mustaches. The one guy has like long hair, but he's balding on top. So they look like your fucking stereotypical Colombian drug dealers, except they're like Indian. And the one guy kind of looks like he's got brown face. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like he's got makeup on. So it kind of weirds me out. Maybe he just has like some skin condition, so I shouldn't accuse him of being in brown face, but he kind of looks that way. But the drug deal must somehow go wrong or whatever, because then a big kung fu fight breaks out. And when I say kung fu fight, fucking serious, because one of the guys jumps out wearing the white kung fu suit with the headband and the black belt, and it's just fucking Kung Fu Central with all the like exaggerated sound effects every time they make a kick or chop. And you know what? This is already like 15 billion times better than any fucking thing that happened in the original Baby's Day Out. In fact, I think I want an American remake of the Indian remake of Baby's Day Out. Something could be done here. Because, you know what? I'll come out and say it. That probably was one of the main things missing from Baby's Day Out, was just fucking kung fu or karate. But I think kung fu because the guy was wearing a kung fu suit. Martial arts fights, we'll just say, because I don't know the difference between any of them. But yeah, It's fucking awesome. I The only way it could have been cooler was if he was a fucking ninja. Because I do have my film theory that any film can be improved by throwing in some ninjas. And that includes Baby's Day Out. As we've seen that by even just throwing a fucking kung fu fight has improved this fucking piece of shit film. And by piece of shit film, I'm referring to the original's Baby's Day Out. Jury's still out on this one. But yeah, this one's kind of a piece of shit too. The 77 gang then run into Dad. Or maybe it's not Dad. It might be some other random dude that knows the family. I can't tell. It would help if I, knew the language and could understand what people were calling each other. But, so, I don't care. I'm going with Dad. Because Dad is fucking angry and gonna kill some people. But he hires the 77 gang to kidnap his baby. And I know this because they say kidnap. Because, again, I guess there's no Indian word for kidnap. So, I'm thankful so that I already know the plot. I knew the plot that was going to involve kidnapping, but now I know that this guy, even though it was really fucking obvious that was his plan, but I know for sure kidnapping's involved. And so, the 77 gang, their plan is just like Joe Mantegna's plan in Baby's Day Out. They're going to pose as photographers, and they're going to use that as their into the house, and they're going to kidnap the baby. Baby kicks one of the guys in the balls, because, of course, it wouldn't be a faithful Baby's Day Out remake if you didn't have some ball kicking. It's just into the DNA of the story. Baby gets kidnapped, Baby kicks people in the balls. There's just no way around it. And so, the 77 gang convince everyone to leave the room. Probably much in the same way as the original's Baby's Day Out that really made no sense of, sure, let's leave these strangers alone with my child. And so they kidnap the baby, run out, beat up an old guy who's trying to stop them. The old guy runs and tells the mom, your child has been kidnapped. I saw them. They took him in a van. But there was windows in the van, so I don't think anything really bad's gonna happen. And Mom is devastated. Dum, dum. And honestly, I thought she was about to break into song, which would have been fucking awesome. I watch these movies and I see ways the films could have been so much better. For example, if upon hearing the news that her baby's been kidnapped, she just busted into a big song and dance number, it would have been fucking awesome. Dad comes home and Mom tells him that the baby's been kidnapped. And okay, Dad is not the guy that arranged the kidnapping. Dad's the boss. And his employee, the one that got pissed off because Dad kept yelling at him, he's the one that arranged the kidnapping. So okay, this makes more sense. Somewhat. Still stupid. God, I hate this movie. Throw some more kung fu fights and... yeah. Give me a ninja. Or if the fucking gorilla does a kung fu fight, then this will be the greatest film that remade Baby's Day Out. It'll be the greatest Baby's Day Out remake. Until I see the other two, they might be better. I don't know. Then what the fuck? We just, out of nowhere, we get a big song and dance number that... there's no way I can do justice to this moment using my words, because I'm not very good with words. But yeah, it's just fantastical. I don't know what's going on. It seems to be a mechanic and this rich girl singing to each other with all these backup dancers. So basically, it's the Uptown Girl video by way of Bollywood, and it's fantastic, but I don't understand what the fuck's going on because I'd never seen either of these people. They just kind of showed up and decided to sing and dance. Which, I guess is a hell of an introduction, but what the fuck's going on? But this rich girl, she's fucking Christy Brinkley hot, and the guy is Billy Joe ugly, so it works. The 77 gang pull up into the mechanic's shop, and I guess they need some work done on their van or something. And mechanic seems very happy to go do it, and he starts working on it, and Baby's in the back seat, and he's like, well, I'm gonna play with the mechanic's hair. And the mechanic, he doesn't get upset. He sees Baby, and he loves Baby, and he lets Baby play and help him, and even gives Baby his necklace. And wow, you know, Indian people are so much nicer than American people. Because remember Baby's Day Out, the original, where absolutely no one fucking paid attention to the baby? It was just like, yeah, let him go. We don't care. We're too busy. Here, right away, the first person that sees the kidnapped baby is like, oh, how cute. Let me play with him. He doesn't seem to ask, so why do you three guys have a baby? Is this three men and the baby? But points for at least, acknowledging that there's a baby, which the Americans failed to do over and over and over. Once the van's fixed, the 77 gang take off with Baby, and the mechanic is in the back room doing something, or he's in his office, probably figuring out how much he has to charge, and his assistant comes running in, boss, and I don't know what he said, but it was either those guys ran off without paying us, or why the fuck were they with a baby? Called the cops. Probably more the not paying thing, and mechanic's like all upset, and I don't know what mechanic's gonna do about it. But then the 77 gang take Baby back to their clubhouse, their apartment, and we get some more nut shots because, again, it's built within the DNA of Baby's Day Out. Nut shots, nut shots, nut shots. Then the landlord shows up. At least I think it's the landlord. Some old guy. And they're trying to hide the baby away from him. And they're like, oh no, what can we do? Because he's right there where the baby is. He's going to see it. So one of them cleverly just happened to be only wearing a towel. Drops his towel. And the landlord's like, I gotta cover my eyes. I don't want to look at your wang just flapping about. And so while the landlord has his eyes closed, they can sneak Baby out of the room. Back at Baby's home, Mom and Dad are very sad and upset, and they're talking to the military. I think they're just the police, but they're dressed like military, so I don't know. Is the police in India very more, like, militaric? That's not a word, is it? Militaristic? Well, yeah, like, they look like the military, but I think they're just the police. And they swear that they're gonna help, I think. I would hope that's what they were saying. For all I know, they could have just been like, yeah, fuck off. I don't know. I don't know what the Indian police are like. Meanwhile, back at the 77 gang club, their apartment, there are more wacky hijinks while they're trying to entertain the baby by slapping each other around, Three Stooges style, and singing badly and dressing in drag. Because what better way to entertain a baby than dressing up in drag? Babies love drag routines. It's science. The leader of the 77 gang, who isn't 77 himself, I don't know why I've grown attached to 77. Maybe because he's like the wacky, like, put upon. He's the Joey Pants role. And Joey Pants was kind of my favorite character from Baby's Day Out. And not accurate to say he's my favorite character. He was the character I hated the least, I guess. But the leader of the gang, he calls up the dad, and I assume it's to ask for a ransom and all that, and Dad's upset, and Mom's upset, and the guy who set up the whole kidnapping plan, he's scared. I don't know, maybe he suspects that they're onto him, or maybe he realizes how fucked up it was that, he set up a kidnapping for his boss's son. Meanwhile, 77 has fallen asleep and he left the window open. Bad idea. He has not learned from Eric Clapton's tragedy. But baby sees a bird out the window, which he remembers seeing from the photo album, a bird, and it made him happy, so he decides he's going to go out the window and go after the bird. The landlord sees baby crawling across the roof, and he just fucking laughs. Because, you know, baby in fucking mortal danger is funny. Obviously, this guy was a Baby's Day Out fan, because he thinks it's hilarious that a baby's in danger. Just, what the fuck? Do something to save him. The other members of the gang, they notice, like, oh shit, baby's in danger, let's go after him. And a lot of wacky hijinks and getting hit in the face and balls and all that. And I think it's a shot-for-shot remake from that same scene in Baby's Day Out where the baby's going after the pigeon. You know what? I don't know why I was thinking that there was a slight chance that this might be slightly better than Baby's Day Out in the incredibly infuriating aspect that no one fucking notices baby. But you know what? No! They fucking went for it! Which I think is pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of Baby's Day Out at this point, where baby just goes on, he gets on the elevator, delivery guy doesn't notice there's a baby there. Then he crawls out of the building. All the people around there don't notice there's a fucking baby crawling. He gets on the bus. Bus driver doesn't notice that a baby just fucking got on the bus. If for no other reason, he was supposed to charge the baby, you know? Like, hey baby, be $1.25 if you want to ride this bus. Don't. How awesome would it have been if they did like a big Bollywood version of Another One Rides the Bus? Which, in my mind, I'm going through that, and I legitimately was thinking Queen's version was Another One Rides the Bus. The fuck? This is what happens with a fucking Baby's Day Out remake, is my brain cells are slowly dying. But yeah, baby's on the bus and no one fucking notices, and he sat between two women, and each woman thinks the baby belongs to the other, so they don't say anything, like, that's a baby. You know, I guess they're just not friendly enough on this bus where you would think, like, one of them be like, oh, cute baby. And the other one like, I thought it was your baby. And they'd be like, what the fuck? There's a baby. No. See, so many things could have been prevented had people on the bus been friendly and tried to strike up a conversation. And then we get the same awful moment that just caused a blood vessel to burst in my head in Baby's Day Out and is making my blood vessels burst again, where baby climbs into a basket and the woman who carries the basket doesn't fucking realize that the basket's suddenly heavier. Baby's at least like 10 pounds. I would notice if suddenly the basket I've been carrying had an extra 10 pounds. I'd be like, what the fuck? This feels heavier. And then I'd look at it, see baby, and be like, what the fuck? Why is there a baby in my basket? No, this lady, she just goes on. And the criminals see that baby's in the basket, so they start following after her, trying to get baby. But she thinks they're getting fresh, and I don't know what they're saying, but I'm assuming they're probably doing the same bad fat-shaming jokes that we're doing in Baby's Day Out. And she's not that fat. She's thick. She's a thick lady. Thick Indian lady. Oh, yeah. Haha, I bet you thought that wouldn't happen. Thought, oh, this is a kid's movie. There's no way he's going to pull out the, oh, yeah. I did. I pulled it out. Phrasing. But she does then beat the shit out of them because she's thinking they're trying to get fresher at something. And I don't remember if in Baby's Day Out they quite went to this extreme level, but she really beats the shit out of them. And that makes me happy. I kind of wish she would bust a couple of ninja moves there, but I'll take what I can get. So the lady carrying the basket walks into some sort of women's hospital or women's dorm or boarding house or something. It's all women. Because then, to sneak in there, two of the criminals dress in drag. And you know what? I'm kind of surprised seeing this now that they didn't have this type of scene in the original Baby's Day Out. Because it's the sort of hacky thing that they would have thrown in that movie. Like, oh, wackiness, more wacky hijinks because they have to dress like women and oh. But they go through and there's a Mariah Carey poster on the wall. And I don't know why that kind of like just threw me for a loop. I would have expected, some big Bollywood star or, some Indian singer or something. But it's Mariah Carey. So, I don't know. Do the Indians love Mariah Carey as much as they love Baby's Day Out? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible for anyone to love anything as much as the Indians love Baby's Day Out. Because they made 3 fucking remakes of it. But, so they find Baby. And they hide Baby under their dress. And they're almost on their way out. But one of the ladies, who must be the boss or something, thinks, something's wrong. I don't recognize these two. I'm assuming this is what she's saying. Again, I have no fucking clue what anyone's saying. But you can kind of pick up on what's probably going on. And they're trying to get away and, smooth talk their way out of it. But unfortunately, Baby kicks them in the balls. Because, this movie is like 3 attempts nut shots. It's embedded in the DNA of Baby's Day Out that there has to be a lot of shots to the balls. They may as well just combine it with man gets hit in the groin with football. But this causes the boss lady to realize, hey, something's wrong, and she pulls off the wigs and, oh no, they're guys! And suddenly all the women just rush in and beat the shit out of the guys. Which, thumbs up for that. You should beat the shit out of those guys, because they're pervs going in trying to see you poop or something. And in fracas, the melee, I am not pronouncing those words right, am I? Sorry, my brain just is mush from having... I'm essentially watching Baby's Day Out a second time. Just this time, I don't know what anyone's saying. But Baby has escaped their clutches again. More running through the hospital, dormitories, whatever they are. While the women are chasing the guys while Baby's just nonchalantly just walking his way out. But I want to point out that in addition to a Mariah Carey poster, there is a fucking poster for the Sylvester Stallone classic Cobra. Now that just makes no fucking sense. Like, okay, Mariah Carey. They love listening to Mariah Carey. Is Cobra the second biggest movie in India after Baby's Day Out? I'm pretty sure in dormitories in the 80s no one had a poster of Cobra up. What the fuck? I mean, it is a cool looking picture, Sylvester Stallone with his shades and he's got his gun sticking up in the air. It is a badass image. But who the fuck has a poster of it and hanging up? Definitely not dudes and definitely not dudettes. Just... ugh. I mean, no. Why is this woman's dormitory? Is Sylvester Stallone like a heartthrob there? Like, oh man, he's hunky. Let's put his picture up on the wall. It doesn't matter that we've never seen Cobra. Or maybe they have, and they think it's a cinematic masterpiece, and that's why they put the poster up. I don't know. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus for this film. I guess it's neutral. It's fucking a Cobra poster. And the more I say it, the cooler it actually kind of seems. The mechanic goes to the police to tell them, hey, there was a baby with these 3 weird guys, and they kind of just took off without paying, and they had the baby, and I think something's not right there. I don't know if that's what he actually said. I'm gonna pretend it is, cause I want to believe there's one fucking decent person, and that he looks and realizes, wait a minute, this is fucked up. This is not right. Something's wrong. I have to save this baby. Unlike every other fucking person that sees baby and just like, nah. I don't know if the police are, actually taking the statement or really taking this seriously. But then the mom and dad are at the police station and there's a lineup, but they don't recognize any of the potential perps. So they think, they might never see baby again. And as they're walking out of the police station, there's baby. Except they don't see baby, so they just drive off, and they were so close to getting baby. But baby saw them, and baby starts crying. And I think the seriousness of it just hits them that, my God, they're my parents and they're gone. And what the fuck am I doing just in the middle of the city by myself and no one fucking cares? I don't know if baby can actually think all that, but baby is sad. And I'm kind of sad now. Then baby sees some food on a food cart, so he decides he's gonna hop on the food cart and take a trip. And the guy pushing the food cart doesn't realize that, suddenly his cart is heavier by about the size of a baby. Like, pushing the cart like, feels like a baby's hiding on my cart. Let me just double check and make sure. But no, he doesn't check. Because, yeah, I don't even know if I could, pay attention anymore. Next we get the scene where baby's crossing a busy traffic street. And he's all Frogger-like. Then, no one driving sees a baby in the road and stops and goes, what the fuck, a baby? Even worse, the fucking criminals are, going after him. And you'd think they would at least see the criminals and someone would stop and be like, what the fuck? Get out of the way. At which point, someone could be like, there's a baby across the road. And why does no one know? And the car drives over baby. But that runs him over, but the baby's small enough to not get his head decapitated by the car, and the criminals fall into a ditch, and I don't know, but they're at the park, which I think means soon, hopefully, we get the gorilla scene. That's the only thing keeping my hopes up at this point, is that we're gonna get the gorilla scene. At the park, there's some crazy dance troupe going on with a guy playing drums, and the whole thing's edited like some fucking psychedelic nightmare, and it probably will be giving me nightmares tonight. But baby, he starts dancing with them, and at one point is playing with the drummer, so everyone sees baby. So why does no one stop and go, where'd the baby come from? Probably because they're all fucking stoned on their mind doing, dancing and playing drums. I don't know if I could go on. Why does no one know that there's a random baby just by himself dancing? And no one thinks, wait a minute, that ain't right. Meanwhile, the criminals run into the guy who set up the whole kidnapping scheme, and he's angry at them, and he yells at them, and they yell back something. They don't seem as angry as him, and I have no fucking clue what anyone's saying. I thought maybe he was going to call off the kidnapping, but maybe he did. And baby's missing, and who knows what's going on. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know why I torture myself like this. The criminals see that baby's in the park, so they chase after him, and a lot of wacky hijinks involving a donkey and a scorpion. Yeah, it happened. I don't know what happened, but there was a donkey and there was a scorpion, and wacky hijinks ensued. And then the mastermind schemer, he's talking to some guy that I don't know who he is, and I don't know what their plan is. They're talking about something, and the other creepy-looking guy just starts laughing maniacally. So, I don't know. He's probably being hired to kill someone. To kill baby. Or get baby back. I don't know. Get my baby back, baby back, baby back. Haha. Must have realized I would probably do that at some point. And then over at home, Mom and Dad are still upset, and the policeman's telling them something, and I'm guessing it's something like, there's only so much we can do, or there's nothing we can do. And suddenly there's a phone call, and it must be some sort of good news, because suddenly the mom seems hopeful. Maybe they found baby. Maybe finally someone was like, hey, there is a fucking baby crawling around by itself. Or they listen to the mechanic and go, hey, wait a minute. Maybe these are the guys we should find. Let's go find baby. Okay, it's just a scene like the original where they got word that they thought they found the baby, and it's the woman that's got like 5 million children, and they go and look, but it's not baby. And mom is sad all over again. And now baby, we're seeing the real baby, and he's climbing onto the train tracks. And oh lord, there's gonna be a train coming, isn't it? And it's gonna somehow miss over him. Was there a train in the original one? No, there couldn't possibly, because it was set in New York, right? Maybe he goes in the subway? I don't know. My mind is mush at this point. So, don't pay me too much mind, because I don't know. I don't know. Is it wrong that now I'm kind of hoping baby just gets hit by a train and the movie's over? It is wrong? Okay. So I won't hope for that. So the train's coming, and it seems like there's no possible way baby can get out of this. He sees the train and remembers the train from his picture book, and stands up like, yay, train coming! And luckily, someone finally sees baby! And goes, what the fuck? There's a baby on the train tracks! And they stop the train. Oh, so close. But they stop right before the train could kill baby. Whew. And lucky for them that baby was in the way, because it turns out that a little bit further down, train tracks were broken. Had they continued, be a tragedy. And a film crew, the news just kind of happened to be there. Like, everyone just kind of gathers around like, oh shit, what happened? And then suddenly the camera crew's there. I think the camera crew sabotaged the train tracks so that they could cover it. They're like, haha, let's hide out, ruin these train tracks, and we'll be first on the scene for the train crash. Oh, the horror, the tragedy, and we'll be number one in the news. I don't trust the news, guys. And I'm not sure if anyone's going like, hey, let's try to find baby's parents or anything. But the criminals show up and they're like, yeah, it's our baby, it's all good. And they say things back and forth, which I hope is something like, why the fuck is your baby on a train track? You're negligent parents. Let's call the fucking cops and say, or call child protective services, be like, these guys let a baby go onto the train tracks. They are not fit to be guardians. Mom's at home, and she gets a phone call, and it seems like it's a very sad phone call. Again, I don't know what they're saying, but she seems very sad. Meanwhile, on the TV, they're showing the news broadcast, and baby is front and center. If she only just turned her head to see baby there. And the fucking dog starts barking because the dog is smart and sees baby on the TV and like, hey lady, look at the TV. baby's there. But no, she's not paying attention, and she just yells at the dog to shut up. She doesn't look to see what the situation is, and again, misses the chance to see baby and find baby. At the park, the criminals are hiding baby under a blanket. Not a blanket, like his coat, really. The one criminal's coat that he's using as a blanket. Because they need to hide baby from the police. And since this is baby's day out, more nut shots. I think this is like the 15th time we've gotten nut shots. And then it's one-upped by baby setting his crotch on fire. And, oh dear Lord, I'm just so very, very tired. And baby escapes. Then baby catches a ride in the back of a truck. And baby's not like sitting or anything, he's standing. So I guess the driver doesn't use his rear view mirror, or else he probably would have seen baby and been like, why the fuck is there a baby in my truck? And I'm ready to just lose all hope in humanity when suddenly another song and dance number just out of nowhere. And I don't know, I think this might be the mechanic and his girl again, or it might be two new people. I don't know, but it's just fucking surreal awesomeness. I don't know what it means. I don't know what's going on. Just song and dance number, and it must be really going on because baby sees it and he laughs and he thinks it's funny, but then he sees the circus truck and he gets on the circus truck because he wants to go to the circus. He remembers seeing the circus in his picture book. That happens like 20 seconds into the song and dance number that goes for a couple more minutes. So it's a pretty nice song and dance number, though, I will say. I gotta say, so far this has been better. This is marginally better than the original Baby's Day Out because it's got musical numbers. Then there's a news report on the TV about the missing baby, and Singing Mechanic sees it and goes, holy fuck, that's the baby that I saw earlier. The baby that was playing with me. Not in that way. And helping me as a mechanic and stuff. And thank you. Someone decent that fucking realized there's something wrong about baby just being on his own. Unfortunately, at this point, the circus truck has driven off with baby. Not that I think Singing Mechanic realized that baby was there, because he was too busy singing and dancing for his hot chick girlfriend. She is hot, and she's got moves. But baby's gone away. But Singing and Dancing Mechanic, he runs over to the house where mom and dad are and tells them, I saw this baby. I saw your baby. I think I know where. He starts looking through the picture book, and it dawns upon him that every place in the picture book is where baby's been. Now, how the fuck did he come to this realization? And granted, I don't know what they're saying, so maybe he didn't come to the realization, but just from body language, it looks like he came to the realization this is everywhere baby's been. But he's only seen baby at the mechanic shop. How the fuck does he know where else baby's been? But luckily he does, because then he goes, circus is next. We must go to the circus to find baby. Which, I guess you'd just be like, well, what else do we have to go on at this point? But I still want to know how he came to the realization that every place in the picture book is where baby's been at. Because I'm pretty sure he has not seen baby at all those places. And the crooks are pretty much like the luckiest crooks around, because they just so happen to be behind the circus truck and they see, hey, baby's in that truck. They're going to the circus. So they follow them to the circus, and as you might guess, yes, the gorilla scene. And yeah, my mind's already blinked out on it. Wacky shenanigans, and the gorilla punches the guys, and lots of fun, wacky shenanigans. Just, I wish the gorilla was here to punch me out of my misery. Although, if this movie was just the gorilla and the song and dance numbers, and just combined the two, and just have the gorilla doing a song and dance, it possibly would be one of the greatest films ever made. Possibly. More wacky hijinks as somehow Baby ends up part of the show. I don't know how that works. I can see the audience not knowing that Baby's not part of the show, because how would they know? But the other fucking performers, shouldn't they be like, where'd this baby come from? What the fuck? But no, they all seem cool to just let this random baby be put as part of dangerous stunts with the acrobats and shit like that. And so the bad guys dress themselves up as clowns to try to get Baby, and it doesn't go very well for them. It's more wacky hijinks and they get hit. Kind of surprised that there was no nut shot. Perfect opportunity for some more nut shots. They let me down. But the scene isn't over yet, so it could still happen. But singing and dancing mechanic has shown up to the scene. The bad guys are still trying to catch Baby, but the strongman wants to use him as weights to lift. And I don't know. It's all crazy hijinks where they have no qualms about putting a baby in danger that no one knows who it is. But the bad guys come close to getting it, but suddenly, singing dancing mechanic saves the baby from while he's on top of an elephant. And seriously, what kind of fucking shit circus is this? Like, this poorly ran circus that anyone can come in and be part of the act? What the fuck is up with that? This is a fucking dangerous circus. Mechanic Dude somehow uses his powers of persuasion to get the bad guys to just participate in all the dangerous circus stunts with the trapeze and all that. He probably just told them that, he wouldn't blow them in if they did all these stupid stuff, which kept Baby entertained, so they were happy. And as he's walking off with Baby, presumably to take him back to his parents, a bunch of guys come and attack. I don't fucking know who they are. They kind of just come out of nowhere. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned that the mechanic is wearing a cowboy hat, which is very important for this next part. He starts kicking everyone's ass while holding the baby. He's just like chopping and kicking and just, my God, this fight scene. Why wasn't this fight scene in the original Baby's Day Out? It's fantastic. I am rooting for cowboy mechanics because he sings and dances and kicks ass. But then he hands off the baby to the guy who was doing all the scheming, mastermind guy, which, he doesn't know. He just thinks like, okay, he's an employee of Baby's dad. But Baby knows something's up and Baby starts crying. But mechanic can't be bothered right this moment because he's too busy kicking some ass. The bad guys managed to give the strong guy the slip so that they could sneak away from the circus act. And they see the schemer guy who has decided to take Baby and just run away. But he's not going to give them to the bad guys, so he just runs off and they chase after him. Meanwhile, the singing mechanic, he's still kicking all sorts of ass. And one guy, he doesn't want to fight, but singing mechanic pulls an odd job and throws his cowboy hat at him. And that's it. They're going to fight. And singing cowboy is kicking some ass. He kicks so much ass that he manages to get some sort of information out of this guy just as mom and dad are showing up with the police. And I think he told them the name of the guy that set up the kidnapping. And everyone runs into the circus tent. And evil guy, the dad's employee, whatever, who has the baby. He's at the top of one of those poles, where the acrobats and stuff, the trapeze artists, jump from on the trapeze swing. And everyone's scared. Well, singing mechanic and the parents and police are scared. Everyone in the audience just thinks this is part of the show. And they're thinking, oh, this is really exciting. And baby sees mom, so he starts crying, which makes the gorilla and the elephant very upset because they can recognize they love baby. And they know baby's distressed. Meanwhile, the guy's, I'm assuming, saying, don't come up here, don't come up here. But the pole, like there's a screw that's kind of loose, and it looks like it's coming more and more loose as this yelling's going on. And will it fall? Will it crash down? Will baby be safe? I don't know, but singing mechanic is climbing the rope. Can he make it to the top before the whole thing falls apart? Okay, now this is just fucking awesome. I will give this film credit on this part. So the thing's just shaking and shaking, and the guy drops baby. So singing mechanic, just this fucking awesome leap and catches baby, but oh no. What are they going to do? They're going to fall. The net's not there to catch their fall. And he's flying to the ground. What's going to happen? And the gorilla, who has somehow gotten out of his cage, I don't know if he broke out or someone just let him out, is there. And he runs and he catches them. Oh my God, that was pretty fucking awesome. I will give that for this film. The original Baby's Day Out had nothing close to this. And the guy that was scheming to orchestrated the kidnapping, he manages to get down and he's running away. But the criminals, the kidnappers, who are still dressed as clowns, they chase him down, catch him, beat him up, and throw him in a cage. Because they're probably mad because he got them all involved in this mess. Dad writes out a check and offers it to singing mechanic as a reward for saving the baby. But he's like, no, I'm not taking it. Because he's a true hero. He was just happy to see the family back together. He didn't do it for the reward. As they said about Spider-Man, action is his own reward. So they give the check to someone else from the circus. So I think he's donating his money to the circus or something. But, he doesn't care about the money. And the criminals, they wheel in the guy, and a bunch of stuff is said. I think they apologize for the kidnapping. And then they're allowed to hold the baby again. Which is just kind of fucking weird. Like, if your baby just got kidnapped, why would you then let the kidnappers, okay, you can hold it for one last time. But I think they had to do it so that one last nutshot can be thrown into this film. Just a happy, warm and fuzzy ending all around. That was Sisindri, the first Indian remake of Baby's Day Out. And I gotta say, it was slightly better than Baby's Day Out. A lot of the same frustrating parts and moments and ideas, but there was two song and dance numbers, and some pretty cool action scenes. A lot more fighting than the original had. So, yeah, I don't completely hate myself for watching it. So if you've got any comments or requests and shit like that, velvetal@hotmail.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, which YouTube seems the popular format for people who want to learn more about Baby's Day Out, leave a comment on the video. And next week we will watch the second Baby's Day Out remake.